Go for it.
Hi, love. So I'm actually I'm actually in that same space that you just spoke about, right? So I've been in corporate America for maybe 18 years, but I can feel within me like I did it to sustain my family, right? And I have children I'm trying to raise, but now I feel like this isn't my calling, right? This isn't where I want to pour my passion into. And because I've been in corporate America so long doing the same thing, but, increasing responsibilities over the years, I'm just like scared to step out there and do something totally different. And I definitely know that it has something to do with my self-esteem and setting a goal that's outside of the corporate world. What does that look like? How do I stay focused? I've stopped and started. So this Zoom was right on time.
Definitely. And I'm going to tell you something. I say this all the time on my lives. Human beings were wired, just by nature. It's in our DNA to want change. After a while, we become comfortable with stuff, and your body, your brain, your essence, your energy will tell you when it's time for a change. So a lot of us are fighting what's naturally supposed to occur, and we're fighting it because we're not prepared as adults. We're not prepared for change. We're not prepared, like you said, to actually transition from certain things that our time is up with it. Our attitude is showing that our time is up with it. Our motivation towards it is showing that our time is up with it. Some of us, our physical health is showing us that the shit we doing, we can't keep doing it. But because we're not like doing what some of y'all are doing, which is getting in Zooms, getting new information, setting strategies and things up to where we can maneuver different in our life, because we're not doing these things, we stuck sitting in it. This is when you see people on jobs working themselves like a workhorse when really their health is telling them they cannot sustain this kind of workload too much longer. Their mindset is telling them. You ever come somewhere and when you walk in, it throws you off. Like you get negative or get a nasty feeling just by being here. It's some people pull up to their jobs, they sit in the car, or even the family that they've created, the people they've chose to be friends with, boyfriend, girlfriend, marriages they got themselves into, it literally has them in a space of a feeling of disgust or negativity or, just feeling down. And you just keep walking yourself into it. After a while, you're going to, I'm really pushing myself to an early demise by continuously doing this, because I could just literally sit down, be honest with myself about the state of my life and what I want to change, and actually educate myself on how to change it. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom? For some of y'all, you've probably been in relationships where you allowed things to go on, and that alone showed you that I got self-esteem issues. You may be pretty, you may be handsome. You know how people say nowadays they paid. You can have all the money in the world, but the shit you're allowing people to do to you, the stuff you're sitting in, it's a clear sign I got something wrong with my self-esteem. And a lot of people don't want to admit this. They feel like because they look good, it's all good. But in all reality, the shit that you're involving yourself in, it shows you don't have much value within self. I do Zooms all the time on management of emotions. Some of y'all might have been in it. I see a lot of people, they will allow their feelings constantly to destroy what they're building. Meaning in the moment, a high intense emotion that they can't manage will have them like reacting in the moment to shit to where they will go to jail, ruin their life, lose relationships, and they'll keep repeating these cycles and never once stopping to think, I need to go get some help. You running from what's really wrong with your inner value. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom?
I'll share.
Go for it.
Okay, so last year around this time, I lost my mom. And for a long time, like, I was just dead inside. Like, I lost my confidence. Like, I quit my job. I just lost. And I have 3 kids, too. So they was just, watching their mommy just cry every day. And, I didn't want to do anything. All the stuff that I love to do, I stopped doing. And my kid's father, like, he didn't know how to be there for me. So, I was lashing out on him. And, I just want to learn how to build, my confidence back up and just get back to myself. I set goals and, I write it down and everything, but I don't do nothing with it. Like, I'll just set the goal and just look at it. And then, the day goes by and I just be like, damn, like, I ain't even do nothing.
So now, listen, I'm sorry to hear about your loss, and I definitely understand because I've lost, multiple people close to me. This is what I want to say to y'all, and I'm gonna be so blunt, right? And me and Aya talked about this on her one-on-one the other day. A lot of us, we don't realize that. For example, I told y'all this in my budgeting Zoom. Part of the reason why it's important as adults to have your budgeting and your basics together is because when things like this happen, where I talked about you lose someone close to you, and now it's time to go into a selfish season or get some therapy or just take some time for you, you can't afford it. So you do things like end up quitting a job altogether or losing a job, and then it messes with what's going on at home because you don't have your $0 value, your X amount of emergency money built on top of your budgeting, built on top of your investing. Like none of this stuff is going on. So you end up in a space where life is crumbling in multiple areas based on, mourning or based on a loss. A lot of y'all don't realize, like I've said on some of my lives, there are certain things that occur in life that you are rightfully due a selfish season. Losing a parent, losing a child, losing someone close to you, taking a serious financial loss, be it in a space where you're going through a divorce or a bad breakup, or you've been abused, lied to multiple times, cheated on. These are reasons to go in a season where you go repair self, get therapy, find a confidential source to vent to. This is the stuff that as adults we overlook. We talk about a lot of grown folk shit, but we don't talk about the shit that has to do with building self-esteem, repairing yourself, making sure you're getting cared for, because this is the stuff that reflects in your personality. This is what a lot of people don't realize online, and I say this a lot on my videos, but reality is not really what's going on out in the world. It's what's happening within you, because it's what you're going to see. Some of y'all may not get what I'm saying right now. So just to make it easy, when you go buy a certain type of, hold on. Somebody got an echo. Okay, cool. When you go purchase a vehicle, right? You start to see that particular type of vehicle everywhere. Anybody notice that? You go buy a Benz, now you seeing that same kind of Benz. Now, these same cars been on the road. It didn't just out of the universe. People just started buying cars like that because you bought one. What it is what happened in your world is now reflecting what you see. Y'all understand this, right? You start to notice what is happening within you. So a lot of people that go around and all they can see is negative. All they can see is how somebody's coming down on them. They got that victim mentality. All they can see is a certain type of this, or think a certain type of way, or view things. It's a reflection of what's happening within them. What's happening within you is a reflection of your life experiences. And then for a lot of y'all, you already had a downward start because your childhood gave you a lot of fucked up experiences. So for some of y'all, just for that reason, you need therapy in a selfish season. A lot of y'all, your upbringing alone had some traumas in it. Doesn't mean your mother or father were terrible, but there was some shit they did wrong. Some stuff you were exposed to, some shit that affected you to the point where it is what's going on within you. It's why you see stuff the way you see it. It's why you pick the people that you pick. And the more you keep picking the wrong people, the more you keep sitting in the same shit that's a reflection of your childhood traumas or your past relationship or friendship traumas, the more you're going to keep just tearing down and tearing down and tearing down your own self-esteem. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom?
Well, hopefully everybody got the chance, but I just wanted to say that I have the experience of people tell me, oh, you got a good head on your shoulders, and I feel like I have knowledge, but honestly, it's way different hearing that to put it in practice. Right now, I find myself in a situation that I know I got myself into. And, that's why I decided class, because it's like, man, it's way different.
Your audio is messing up. Sylvia, your audio messed up a little bit, but I get the gist of what you're saying. For a lot of us, you got to ask yourself right now, like when I talk about tallying up the state of your life, the things that you are fully capable of changing, you really have to ask yourself, why haven't I made no real moves to change it? A lot of us, and I want y'all to really think about this, because your children and the people around you see you do this. Fussing, cussing, upset about things that you are fully in control of changing. Walking away from people, walking away from situations, setting new goals, creating a new agenda for yourself, waking up and doing things different. Rather, it's changing the way I eat, changing the way I look, changing my weight, changing what I know. All of these things are things that you can solve, but you will see us wake up and just keep repeatedly fussing and bitching and complaining about it. You got to ask yourself, why am I doing that? That's where the work needs to be done. Why am I staying in a relationship that makes me feel bitter, hurt, sad, scarred? Why am I doing that? Why am I continuously watching things that make me doubt what I have going on or make me feel poorly about the state of my life? Why am I constantly going into spaces or just sitting with the knowledge I have when I know it's not enough? Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom?
I'll go.
Go for it.
I've been watching your videos for about 6 months now, and the recent video you had, it was like y'all get into relationships, and everything you had going, you stop it, and you go directly to this person. I said, "Damn, she talking to me. I need to get in that Zoom." Like, I've never taken any self-esteem classes, any goal-setting classes, but I'll write goals down. I'll start, progressing towards it, and then I'll meet people, friends, relationships. And I drop every fucking thing, and I'm lost my fucking head.
And I'm so glad you said that, because what's important for y'all to understand, like, how now it's the little wave of, comments going on Instagram and Facebook where people talk about what's a red flag. And most of the time, they being funny and looking for likes and views. But a lot of y'all have to really realize with yourselves and with others, it is a red flag when you come into people's lives and all of a sudden you haven't done anything to earn this, but you at the top of their priority list. Like, instantly. You got to really think about this. So they had nothing valuable going on to where they just moved all this shit out the way, stuff that they're supposed to care about for themselves, and they no longer care about it just to try to create some sort of space for you that you didn't earn. It's a red flag for self-esteem. It's a red flag for how much did you really value the stuff you got going on or your life before me? And the problem nowadays is most people hurt themselves by making other people matter more than they should. They don't allow people to earn a space in their life. When someone does not have to earn you, that's a reflection of the value. You give cheap shit away for free, or it's priced low. Things of high value, it requires work to acquire. That's just the way life works. So for a lot of y'all, you got to be honest with yourself. How many people, how many things did I allow to go on around me that it really wasn't, it wasn't warranted. They didn't earn their way in. I didn't deserve to go through that, or they didn't deserve to see these parts of me or these spaces. And this go for male or female. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this particular Zoom?
I'll just say, love, because you were saying that's a red flag. And it's so hard to hear that, because it seems like that's what everybody says, though. Like, oh, if he's really into you, he's going to call you every day. Or if she's this, or you see it in movies, or you see it, in relationships in your, around or whatever. It's recently I've been thinking about that a lot. It's like, how do you know that you're at the top of their list, or they're just into you?
Right.
It's almost hard to determine. Like, you have a video where it's like, y'all can't tell. It's hard to tell. Yeah. It's like, what is appropriate, healthy behavior when someone likes you, they like you, they meet you, they like you, but they have healthy self-esteem.
Listen, and I'm so glad you said that. This literally needs to be the conversation across the nation in all races. Like, because the idea is balance, right? It has to be balanced. What's happening nowadays is people are overdoing, overstepping, overgiving, overtaking, overtalking, underlistening. Like, this is the shit that's going on. And it's just, all it is just throwing off the balance, which is why shit is not working. You can't have an understanding for what's happening or what's going on if you're feeling used up or you're giving more than what you should. So the idea is, people make time for what they want or what they see value in. People are willing to work for things that they feel like is worth the work. So when we're out here and we have no boundaries, we have no, when I say red flag, what I mean is, just to break it down to what you were specifically asking. If you and I are talking and we're going to date, if you're dating me and now I'm pushing aside things that are supposed to be adult responsibility to me, to move you into a space in my life, it's going to end up off balance. So for example, when you see women.
You're cutting out.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
They're like, hold on, you cutting out.
We got to hear this.
Can y'all hear me? Or is it still cutting out?
No, it's better.
Okay. All right. Let me know. Like, tell me if it cut out again. But the idea is, if me and I are dating and we're getting to know one another, the things that are important for me, for my stability, for my life, for my growth, for my goals, this is stuff as an individual I should have, right?
Still cutting out.
I'm still cutting out.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me get right, y'all. Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So what I was saying is, the idea is, if me and Aya are dating, right? And we're mixing our lives together, my basics, meaning transportation, food,